joining me on this afternoon. Again, I want to welcome you to How to Build a Lifestyle in Coaching. Tonight, I'm going to share with you 10 truths to building a healthy coaching business. For those who are new, for those who are new to the coaching industry, for those who are looking to create their lane in coaching, listen, coaching becomes less than a business and more of a lifestyle when you define your lane in coaching. Most people start their businesses based off of the concept of life coaching. We have so many people who pursue coaching in life coaching, finance coaching, and so forth, and they build their business or they use it as a advancement in their career. And while those are immaculate ways to build a lifestyle, you want to make sure that you are identifying your true identity in coaching, because that's what's going to turn the concept of coaching from a business or a task at work to an actual lifestyle. I'm not just a coach to you guys. I'm not just a coach to my clients. I am a coach 24 hours, 7 days a week. Listen, I get on my family nerves because we could be sitting down at dinner, we could be sitting down having a nice discussion, and then my questions will start coming out, and I'll start analyzing the situation, and they're like, listen, stop trying to coach me, and I can't help it because it's in my blood. So I want you guys to make sure that you understand that coaching is more than a business, it's a lifestyle. For those who are joining me for the first time on tonight, I am Vision Coach LaToya Early. I am a master coach. I am a master vision coach. I am the founder and the president of Chase Great Enterprises, where we are constantly changing the momentum of your pursuit to happiness, your pursuit to purpose, and most of all, your pursuit to success. We are all about creating our own lanes in success, which brings me to our coaching certification institute. Yes, we are launching our coaching certification institute, where now we can focus in on building specialty coaches. So no, we do not only offer life coaching. We've built a curriculum where you can develop yourself as a coach in your very own lane. Here's the thing. So as you can see, I've been coaching since 2012. I am a vision coach where I focus on vision articulation and development. I founded Chase Great Enterprises. I've engineered specialty coach certification programs. I've authored books. I've developed curriculum. I've completed empowerment. I've completed keynote events and so much and so much. And I've coached over 100 business developers. But here's why coaching is so unique for me is because I've identified my lane in vision coaching. And so here at Chase Great, what we do is we've created a lane for you to identify your area in specialty coaching, where you can really identify with your gift and your calling. So when I first started in 2012, 5 years ago, of course, I couldn't become certified in vision coaching. Why? Because it was something that I could not find. It was something that I could not relate to. No, I didn't jump straight into life coaching because I didn't want to conform to a category of which I didn't have the desire to. So I kept developing, I kept building until I found the lane that was good for me. And that's where the vision coaching aspect comes from. So over the next couple of minutes, I want to share with you the importance of not just identifying your lane as a coach, but while you're building your coaching business, you want to make sure that you are building a business that really exudes your inner gift, and make sure that it's something that you genuinely want to do, because it is your responsibility to help solve a problem. And if you are vague with the solutions, it'll become even more difficult for you to gain the audience that you need to help. I want to introduce our Vice President, Miss Joe the Giant. Miss Joe the Giant has been coaching since 2013. She's a transformation coach. Again, one of those specialty areas. She's a transformation coach. She's the VP of Chase Great Enterprises. She's the executive coach trainer, where she come in and she helped train our affiliates. So Chase Great Enterprises, we have affiliate coaches where you come and you become a coach under the Chase Great umbrella. We help develop you. We help mold you. We help build you. We help you really get your gain your place in the coaching industry so that you can be suited and professionally trained for the clients that you are called to assist. She's also helped develop education, the curriculum, and she's also facilitated empowerment events and keynote speaker. So again, we're going to share tonight the 10 truths to building and maintaining a successful coaching business. So I want to make sure you guys have your pen and your paper out, because I want you to jot down some notes, and I want you to be sure to use our little chat session over in the corner so that you can chat with me. And if you have any questions or concerns that I can address during this time, I most definitely will address them. So let's go over a few coaching truths. There are 53,301 coaches worldwide. That is an immaculate number. Now, while there are billions of people in the world, we know that 53,000 of them is made up of coaches. Coaching is a non-regulated industry, but it's starting to unfold tremendously across the nation. Why? Because this is a lane where you can develop your own identity. This is why I love coaching so much. There is $2,356 billion in revenue. So if someone can divide 53,000 divided by $2,356 billion in revenue, how much money is there available for coaching? 67% of that 53,000 are female coaches. Female coaches. Now, I think that's a great number. Why? Because coaching, we're problem solvers. Women are natural problem solvers. Now, this is no shade to our men. Of course, we love our men. We need our men. But women are natural problem solvers. So 67% of this 53,000 person count are women. $51,000 is the average in annual revenue. So that means that there's so much more money to be made in coaching. And I strongly believe that once you've identified your target, once you've identified your lane, once you've identified your gift, it's easier for you to identify the person that you're called to assist. Now, I do want to cite where these statistics come from the ICF Global Coaching Study in 2016. So I want you guys to take a look at those numbers, because you can definitely be a part of those numbers. What's going to drive your revenue, what's going to drive your business is knowing what lane you were called to operate in. Coaching is so broad. It's so broad, let me tell you, especially life coaching, because I can coach you in relationship, I can coach you in finances, I can coach you in writing, I can coach you in so many different avenues. But when you are a skilled coach and you really understand the lane that you were called to, it makes coaching that much easier, and it makes it that much clear for your audience so that they can know that you have the solution to their problem. So we're going to go over some coaching truths. Again, these coaching truths have everything to do with me and what I've experienced over the last 5 years of coaching. So I want you guys to bear with me, because I'm going back. Okay, I'm going back. My business was launched March 2012. So I'm going to take some of these challenges way back when. So I want you guys to walk with me so that you can see the process that it takes to get to a place that you really understand how the business is operated. And then I want you to recognize the progress. We're going to talk about the process of coaching and the process of business building. So I want you guys to make sure that you are paying close attention, because I want to make sure that if you're looking to build a successful coaching business, I want to make sure that you avoid these challenges. So I know you were looking for some fun tips on how to make your build a successful coaching business. And while I am going to give you some great information, I want you to avoid these challenges. The first challenge that I had as a coach was lack of direction. So I knew what direction I knew where I wanted to go. I knew that I was called to be a vision coach. God really revealed that to me very strong as I began to develop the business and really start to create my way in the entrepreneur lane. But the problem was vision coaching was not a familiar title or a familiar trade. So when God told me, hey, you're not a business coach, you're not a life coach, you're a vision coach, I was so embarrassed and ashamed because I didn't know how to explain that to the people. So because I wasn't able to effectively articulate my titling or my name to my audience, it gave me a lack of direction. I didn't know where I was going. So to be effective as a coach, you have to know where you're going in the coaching industry. While some people jump into life coaching just to do it on the side, or many people jump into coaching to advance in their career, you have to have an idea of where you're going as a coach. What is your overall goal? What type of solution are you going to provide to your audience? And how will that solution lead you to the success that you desire in your lifestyle? Remember in the beginning, we talked about coaching is less than a business and more of a lifestyle. So the lack of direction will turn the vision into a business because you don't know where you're going. So you're constantly working at it. But if you understand where you're going and you gain good, strong direction and how to get there, it turns it into a lifestyle because now you've changed the daily routine into a journey. Make sense? So lack of direction was one of my biggest challenges as I developed my business and my company in coaching. Number two was lack of preparation and training. This is a big one. So I knew that I was called to coach. I did. I knew that it was a gift of mine, but I didn't know that there were different rules and regulations to it, right? That there's structure behind coaching. I thought that you sat in front of someone, you gave them some information, and that was that. Well, it took me a while before I understood the difference between coaching and consulting. And most times I would interchange the two because I didn't know that there was a difference. Well, that came from lack of preparation and training. Because I wasn't prepared or I didn't train properly, I didn't know that there was a difference between the two. So I was doing more so of consulting than coaching. And then once I sat down to really educate myself and gain education from other coaches and other trainers, then I was really able to identify my lane as a coach. Now, this goes back to point number one, lack of direction. Because I didn't know where I was going as a coach, it was hard for me to see that there were two separate lanes. So I want you to identify whether or not you're looking to consult, which is to provide strategic instruction on how to solve a problem, versus a coach, which is providing solutions, giving the person that you're working with the opportunity to walk out their own solutions to their problem. Okay, so I want you to identify the differences between the two. I wish I had trained and invested in a coach in my earlier years, then I probably would have avoided some of the mistakes that I made as a rookie coach, right? A third challenge that I experienced was marketplace confusion with the inability to attract clients. So this is a big deal, okay? And the reason why this is such a huge deal is because identifying your target audience, identifying who your coaching style, who your information is for. When you are not clear of that, it's like you're just throwing your information out there hoping someone catches it. Let me tell you how exhausting. It's so exhausting. It's so overwhelming, and it's very discouraging. So when you are building your coaching business, this is why direction, preparation, and training, this is why these things are so important, because what you don't want to do is throw all of your information out expecting someone to catch it. And when no one catches it, you feel like, maybe this wasn't meant. You don't want to start doubting the gift that God has given you, because sometimes without preparation, without vision, your confidence begins to perish, right? So you want to make sure that you understand where you fit in the marketplace. The moment you identify where you fit in the marketplace is when you will gain the ability to attract clients. This is something that I teach our coaches all the time. Your why, the why you coach, the why behind your story, the why behind your business is like a magnetic, it's like a magnetic force, right? And it attracts those who need what you have. But if what you have is not visible, if what you have is not clear, how can you expect the people that need you to gain, to connect with you, to gain the information that you have for them? So one of the examples I said is your client won't find you until your identity is clear, because they don't even know what they're looking for, right? You have to be the one to show them how what you have as a solution is what they need to their problem. Make sense? So I was unable to attract my ideal client. And it was one of two reasons. One is because I didn't know exactly who I was. And then secondly, I didn't know what my ideal client even looked like. Like, what are you talking about, an ideal client? I'm looking for anybody that's going to pay me for my service, right? That's what we all think. But that's not necessarily so, because even the people who you think won't pay for your service may be the number one person that pays for your service. So you want to make sure that you sit down and you really identify your place in the market. You want to make sure you identify your target audience. You want to make sure you identify your avatar. What does your dream client look like? How will they know they need you if you don't know how to position your services to attract them, right? Our next point is false success stories. Now, this is a big one. Social media can be the most distracting piece of technology ever. While it's probably one of the most brilliant pieces of technology, it's also one of the most distracting pieces of technology. Why? Because so many people create a false reality on social media, and it causes those who are really trying to believe that they can do it, it causes them to stumble and fail. What you want to do when you are building your coaching business is you want to make sure that you're connecting yourself to coaches who are succeeding in the lane that you are looking to develop in. So you want to make sure that you have access to them, where you can visit with them, that you can talk with them, that you can connect with them in some sort of way, so that you can make sure that you are not feeding your energy into false hope. Sometimes people portray that they're doing things on social media that they really aren't doing. And so when you reach out, or when you follow and then you see that it's not what it seems like it was supposed to be, then it begins to attack your courage and your confidence. And we don't want that. So I want you guys to be mindful of the false success stories, because people try to make it believe that they are in a particular position, and they may not necessarily be in that position. So make sure that you're connecting with a coach, a company, a community, where you can really see the manifestations of their work, where you can really see them working in the industry, where you can really see, what they're doing to help you be great. Okay? Then we're going to go ahead and move on to our next point, which is unrealistic concept of the process. So this is something that I teach with our affiliates as well. We go through what we call a 6-step success system, right? And one of our steps in our success system, we talk about the process. We talk about how you have to understand that every seed requires time to grow and develop. Okay, success doesn't happen overnight. While sometimes it may seem like success happens overnight, that's only because you didn't really see what it took for that person to get to where they are. So with me, I saw, when I first started, I followed people who didn't give me the best representation of the truth. So I thought that the moment that I put myself out as a coach, I started offering services, bam, I would start receiving clients. Well, that's not how it turned out. 5 years later, I'm now finally getting the concept of the system. So I want you to know that while you're building your coaching business, I want you to stay away from the unrealistic concept of the process. Understand that it's going to take time for your business to develop and to mature. Understand it's going to take time for you as the coach to develop and mature. It's not going to happen overnight. Now, the more work you put into it, the more you will get out of it. So I do want you to make a mental note that while times may not always seem at its best, that is all a part of the process. So we have a question. Let's go ahead and take a moment to address a question that we have. Someone was just letting us know that they'll be back. They had to go take a call. So we are going to jump back into okay, so unrealistic concept of the process, be aware of that and understand that even when things start to seem overwhelming, even when things start to seem like they're not moving, they're not shaking, you have to stay focused, you have to stay committed. Now, this is one of the things where I do say that this is the opportune time where you should have some sort of coach or some sort of partner or mentor to help you through the process, because something that I experienced as a coach is trying to travel the journey by myself. And when you try to travel the journey alone, it can become overwhelming. So make sure that you take a mental note to the unrealistic concept of the process. Setting fair and self-worthy prices. This is a big deal, right? Why? Because most of us as coaches, we don't know how to set prices for the value of our service. It's not like a product. It's not like I can sell this ink pen, and I know that this ink pen normally goes at around $1.47 per pen. So I can price myself at maybe $1.30 so that I can lead in the industry. Setting your prices for yourself, for your value, for your information, for your solutions, for your time is not that easy. So you want to make sure that you're setting fair and self-worthy prices, because here's two things that could happen. Been there, done that, right? So you can set your price too low and people won't value the information that you share, or you can set your price too high and you can totally miss your target audience. So say, for instance, if you created your target audience, but you set your prices here, it may not match the audience that you thought that you were called to. So if you want to set your prices to a couple $100 an hour, then you want to make sure that you have generated a target audience that's going to be able to meet that cost. So be mindful of how you set your prices for yourself and your time. Okay? Building a team. This is probably one of my favorite areas to talk about, right? Because I always use an example of your business like your baby. It takes a village to raise a baby. It takes a village to raise a business. But finding that village is not always the easiest thing to do. And you want to be mindful of the people that you allow in your business and working on your business, because understand that everyone doesn't have your best interest. And this isn't to scare anyone, because I've never had anyone to work with my business that didn't have my best interest. Everyone that has worked with Chase Great Enterprises have been absolutely amazing. I've had some team members who decided that they no longer wanted to be with the company anymore. I've had team members who've evolved and grown, and there's nothing wrong with that. But understand that building a team is necessary, because you have to stay focused on the assignment. If your job is to coach, it may be a little difficult to coach, build your website, do your logo, set this up, set that up. So you want to bring in those people, those important people, to help take the vision to the next level. And it's okay to build a team. It's okay to invite other people to the vision so that you can help take the vision to the next level. Okay? Our next tip is lack of confidence. So this is huge, because coaching is you have to believe that you can do it. You have to believe that you have the solutions. You have to believe that God has given you a gift to help another person overcome their adversity, their obstacles, or their roadblocks. You have to believe that every time that you sit in front of someone, that God is going to whisper the information that you need into your heart so that you can share it to the person that's sitting in front of you. You have to believe that regardless of who don't sign up with you, who don't call you back, who don't come to your event, who don't, that you still have the gift to be a coach. So confidence is a big thing when it comes to coaching, because if you don't believe in the information that you're sharing, if you don't believe in the brand, it's going to be really hard for other people to believe in the brand. So understand that your confidence plays a huge role in building a successful business. People are attracted not just by your why, but the confidence in your why. So you want to make sure that you are constantly exercising and strengthening your confidence, whether or not it's making sure that you're reading more, making sure that you're listening to webinars such as this one, making sure that you're staying on task, making sure that you're in a community and you're a part of an alliance that can help you stay focused. These are all great tips to helping you stay confident in your lane. Our next tip is your operation system. So you want to make sure when you're building your business that you have systems, forms, and contracts that you can present to your client, okay? You don't want to just create a PayPal link and say, send me $50 and we can talk for an hour. You want to come off as a professional coach. So I highly suggest creating systems, whether or not you use different applications, whether or not you use different scheduling systems, whatever it is that you decide to use, make sure that your forms of agreement are in place, because this is what signifies your professionalism, for number one, and this is what signifies your systems. If there are no systems in place, it kind of makes me weary of your business. So you want to make sure that there's a process. Okay, I know that if I press this button, I put my information in, I'll get an email. Once that email comes, I can complete my application to meet with them. I can pay my money. I'll get a receipt and the session start. You want a system with your clients, because when they see the system in place, it gives them a little bit more comfort and trusting that you are a legitimate business. Okay? Lack of support and mentorship. So this goes back to the lack of preparation and training. This goes to the building a team. This really plays a huge part in all of the concepts that I've shared with you on tonight, because support and mentorship is huge when you're building your coaching business. Why is it huge? Why is it a great need for this when you are building your coaching business? Is because every day won't be the best day. And you want to make sure that you have someone that supports you, that pushes you, that pulls you, that makes sure that you are staying in the lane that you know that you were called to be in. Okay, so lack of support and mentorship was huge for me, because it was hard for me to find people who connected to the vision the way that I did. You know, who really took coaching to heart. Like, this is something that I love coaching. Coaching is everything I've ever dreamed of. I love sitting before people and sharing what God has shared with me to share with them. I love helping people articulate their vision and take their businesses to the next level. I love working with coaches to help you identify your lane. Here's my biggest thing about coaching. I believe that God has called us uniquely to our own specific area. So I love when people come into my office and they say, LaToya, I want to build a lane in this. I want to start a business doing that, where I can sit down and help them articulate the vision that God has given them. Because who am I to say that God didn't show you that? Right? Who am I to say it's only my job to see bigger, to see greater, and to help get you to the place that you desire to be in your life? Cool. So I want to share with you a bonus challenge. The inability to articulate the solution. This is huge because, again, this goes back to lack of preparation and training. when lack of direction as well. When you don't know where you're going, it's really hard for you to show the world that, hey, I have a solution to your problem. So as a vision coach, my solution to your problem is I have the ability to see in your business what you cannot see. That's my solution. God has given me a gift to see areas in your business that I requires growth. One requires growth, 2 requires attention, 3 requires expansion, or 4 it requires development. So I'm able to provide my solutions to your problems, and that's only because I've identified my direction, I've prepared, and I've gained training. I've in place operation systems. What else have I done? I understand where I'm positioned in the marketplace. I have the ability to attract and gain clients. These are all the same steps that I just shared with you. These are the exact same steps that I had to endure as a coach. So my boldness challenge was the inability to articulate the solution. And I understand as a coach, because it's a non-regulated industry, and because sometimes it can seem oversaturated, once you define your lane, listen, I am a firm believer, not just because the word of God says so, but there is no such competition. There's no such thing as competition in purpose. Okay, there is no reason for you to compare or to compete with anybody. If God has called you to be a coach, listen, you're going to coach from the lane that he's called you to coach from. And no one can step in your lane. But you have to own that, and you have to believe that. Okay? So let's say goodbye to the unknown. Goodbye. Goodbye to all of the challenges that I will not go through, because I sat through LaToya Early's webinar, and she told me that these are the 10 things that she went through. So I am not going to go through these same 10 things. So let's say goodbye to the unknown, right? And let's say hello to strategy. Yes. So strategy is what pays the bills. Okay. Strategy is what gains clients. Strategy is what enforces growth. Strategy is what builds teams. Strategies is what creates a successful coaching business. Understanding purpose, knowing that prayer is at the top of your to-do list, because listen, God is definitely my CEO. Preparation, you have to prepare. Perseverance, because if you don't push through, if you do not gain the unction to move all obstacles out of your way, to tell mountains to be removed, if you do not have the ability to persevere, you will not succeed. Professionalism, especially when you're working with different calibers of people. Planning, promises, the process, as we talked about. Power and prosperity. Listen, let's say hello to strategy. Strategy is what we need so that we can walk through the next door of success in our coaching business. Okay, so what's next? Do we have any questions? Do we have any questions? Let's see if I can pull. I was trying to pull this question that someone asked. I know he asked about, I can't remember the question that he asked, but there was a question that a gentleman emailed me and asked, and I talked about it on the last webinar. But I know one of the questions that he wanted to know, he asked about how do you identify your lane in such a multi-dimensional or multi-talented society. When you have so many gifts, how do you narrow it down, right? So this is what I believe. Let's think about the chair. So the chair was created to sit in. The purpose of the chair was to sit. That's it, right? But the chair can be used for multiple things. You can stand on the chair, you can pick up the chair, you can throw the chair, you can eat on the chair. There's so many different things that the chair was made that you can do with the chair, but the chair was only made to do one thing. So we need to identify what's that one thing that you were made to do, so that we can learn how to create different opportunities around it. But we need to identify that one thing, that one area. And while you may think it's difficult, it's really not. What happens is we need to really narrow down our thinking. We really have, because we're natural at jacks and jills of all trades, but jack and jills of all trades master at none. So we need to find that space that you can master in. Are there any other questions? Okay, so what we have to support you. So we are taking enrollment, and you guys have an awesome opportunity or awesome advantage, because you can enroll in our program before we launch it. I'm going to make sure that this information is sent to you, but we're going to offer you the opportunity to enroll in our coaching certification. We have 2 different levels. Now, I strongly recommend that you become an affiliate prior to the coaching certification, the coaching certification portion of it, because the affiliate training is like a prelude. It's like it gets you ready for what's to come in this certification. And if you just jump into the certification portion of it, it's a lot of information. But if you jump into the affiliate program, you have someone there that can walk you through the process. You have a community of people who can help develop and nurture you. Not only do you have this community of people who can help you as a Chase Grade affiliate, but you also get licensed, you get access to our licensed product, where now you have a service as a coach. You have your very first service as a coach. So it's not just about sitting and talking with someone, but we have an actual structured system that you can take to your clients, set your own rates. You get 100% of your revenue back, but now you can take this licensed product and you can go out and you can help your clients be great. So I do recommend that all of our students do take advantage of the affiliate training first before you move forward in the coaching certification. However, whichever way works for you, we are here to provide you with our state licensed specialty coaching certification and our affiliate training certification. Now, enrollment starts August 1st. I think August is maybe Tuesday or something. But I'm going to make sure that you guys, if you are interested in being a part of the fall course, I'm going to get you your information, because you guys are the ones that are showing initiative. So I want to make sure that you have your seat. We don't have too many seats available. We do have a virtual class and we have an on-site class. So I want to make sure, and we're located in East Point, Michigan. So if you can come to the on-site class, or if you want to join us virtually, it's all up to you. But I want to make sure that I get you this information so that you can go ahead and submit your information and you can get your registration and your seat selected before we are sold out. Listen, I want to help you make your next decision. So if you have any additional concerns and you want to contact me directly, here's my contact number. This is our office number, and 9 times out of 10, I answer the phone because that works for me. Or you can email me directly, whichever way that works for you. I want to help you on your next step. I want to support you. I want to see how can we work together to get you moving in your coaching lane. What is it going to take? What is it going to take for you to not just come and experience Chase Great Coaching, but how can we get you in the lane that you desire as a coach? So again, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me on tonight for tonight's webinar. 10 truths about building a successful coaching business. Listen, I want you guys to stay connected with me. Make sure you are a part of our group on Facebook, Pursuit to Greatness. It is a closed Facebook group where we're constantly in the group sharing tips, sharing business tips, sharing coaching tips. I'm constantly in the group talking and chatting, making sure that we're staying on track. We're always opening coaching opportunities here at the Chase Grade office. Listen, as a Chase Grade affiliate, you have access to our training space, where if you ever want to have a meeting or a session with a client, if you want to host something, this is what the Chase Grade affiliates have access to. Not just support, not just a community, not just coaching, but a place that you can call home as a coach. When I first started coaching, I was meeting people at Tim Hortons, and that was absolutely terrible because it was loud. They had cappuccino machines going off and fans going off, and that's really not a professional place to be when you're trying to place a value on your service. So listen, be a part of the team. We are here with open arms to help you. We love you. We are here to help take you to the next level. I appreciate you, and I would love to open the chat for additional questions. So if you have any additional questions, please, please, please make sure that you go ahead and jot them down in the chat area, or you can personally email me at LaToya@ChaseGreatEnterprises.com.